Hey guys, welcome. Come on in. Thanks for joining us. We're going to be talking about three powerful speaker secrets that can help you become a much better speaker, much better communicator, and we're going to be talking about how you can build a speaking business as well, if that's what you want to do. We are almost ready to go. I know it's the top of the hour. A couple of little tweaks just to make sure that everything runs smoothly. And stay active in the chat. We have people in the chat. It's going to be difficult for me to keep pace with all of the chat, but I love to see things as they flash up as we go. So stay active in the chat. It's great also to look out and see signs of life, like people are listening to what you're saying. So stay active in the chat, and there are people who can help with questions as well. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Welcome. Put a post up while we're waiting just to kick off. We're going to kick off in about the next 20 seconds, but put a post up. Where are you listening from? What city are you in? And are you already a part of the Maxwell Leadership Certified team? Let us know that as well. Or are you brand new? Maybe this is your first call, or you've been on several of these webinars. Let us know. Thank you. It's great to see you posting. And I love going through these the chat afterwards and looking to see who was on and what they're struggling with, which bits resonate with them. If there's something I say that is useful to you or helpful to you, it's great if you can put it in the chat. So then when I go back and say, oh, I must keep that. This one we've tried to slim down and make it even better use of your time. And there's a little bit of guesswork as to which bits are most useful to you, because I think it's all useful, of course. But some bits are more useful than others. So put it in the chat as we go. Stay engaged. I appreciate that very much. All right. So we are talking about this most fascinating topic, powerful speaker secrets. I think we are ready to go. And so we're going to kick off. I'm going to try and get you out of here in 30 minutes. Would that be okay? I want it to be absolutely the best use of your time. And so I'm going to try and get you done in 30 minutes, but I've got some great stuff to share with you in the meantime. All right, we're off. So, powerful speaker secrets. Discover the 3 secrets to becoming a powerful speaker and communicator. And if you want to, for some of you, how you can build your own professional speaking and training business, and how you can do that very, very quickly. Obviously, the more you put in, the quicker you grow, the quicker you learn what you need to, the quicker you develop the skills, knowledge, and experience that's going to help you do that. So a lot to get through. As we go, some of you are going to have questions. As I was just saying, put it in the chat. We have people online in the chat that may be able to answer those questions for you, so you can put them in the chat. Or if it's not appropriate or you're unable to do that, or even afterwards, if you have a question, you can email info@leadwithjohn.com. There it is, info@leadwithjohn.com. And we'll try and answer your questions that way if that works for you. I've got a special gift for you at the end, a bonus. So hang tight. If you're looking to develop your own speaking business, particularly, this is going to be super relevant for you. So look out for that towards the end of the 30 minutes. I'll tell you how you can get that. First of all, though, what are we looking at? 3 secrets that will help you start making money from your gifts and talents. If you're on this line, you're probably interested in this topic. John always says that if you look for your interests, they'll lead you to your gifts will lead you to your passion will lead you to your purpose. And not anyone could be a speaker, but if you're interested in it, it's likely you have some giftedness in that area. So you're in the right place. This call is for you. This could be the start of something big. What are our goals for this session? Like 30 power-packed minutes. What are our goals? Well, my primary goal is to help you become a much more powerful speaker. Some things that you can do that are going to really help your effectiveness as a communicator. But then some of you are going to want to start a business in this, in your area of giftedness, in the things that you love to do. Some of you already have a business and you want to take it to the next level. So primarily how you can become a better communicator, but then also how you can develop your own training business. And then if you want to take the guesswork out of that, or you want to do it much faster, quicker, build it bigger, I'll show you a simple risk-free next step, how you can learn from everything we've learned over the last 12 plus years with the Maxwell Leadership Certified team, and 50 plus years from John Maxwell and his meteoric career as well. So buckle up. I hope you got a pen and paper, some water. 28 minutes to go. First of all, though, if we haven't met before, if you don't know who I am, my name is Roddy Galbraith. For the last 17 plus years, I've been a professional speaker and professional speaker trainer. I've spoken around the world, spoken to huge audiences, teeny audiences, huge virtual audiences, non-existent virtual audiences where no one shows up, and everything in between. I've trained tens of thousands of people, and one-to-one, I've worked with well over 10,000 people on their individual stories. and frankly earned millions of dollars in the process. But I've also had the opportunity to work with some of the very best speakers in the world. So, of course, people like John Maxwell. I've been working with John Maxwell on the Maxwell method of speaking for over 10, 12 years now, but also had the opportunity to share the stage with Nick Vujicic, very inspirational, great speaker. Done a number of programs, shared the stage many times with Les Brown, Paralympian, Bonnie St. John, Master of Influence, Cialdini, Master of Marketing, Seth Godin, and even had the opportunity to learn from people like Sir Richard Branson, Simon Sinek, and many others. But none of this would have been possible. Please understand me clearly. This is not anything to do with me. It's because I was around people that helped me and showed me the way. I wouldn't have even known how to begin. I didn't even know that any of this was possible. I had to learn from people that had done it before, people that would show me the way. And most of those I had to pay, because I started out like many of you where you are now, maybe thinking, oh, I'd like to be a speaker. That sounds like a nice business. But you've got a job that you need to turn up to each day. You need to pay the bills, keep a roof over your head, all of that sort of thing. And so that was me. I worked in the city. It was a long day commuting into the city every day. And I had a team of people, and, you know, it was good, but it wasn't really fulfilling. I felt like there was more to life. I didn't feel like this was all there was. But one of the things I loved was developing people as a leader, you know, coaching people and helping them grow. Plus, I loved helping people develop their communication skills. I loved helping people thrive at interviews, because I did so many interviews and I'd studied that whole process myself. And I'd done a lot of interviews, and I realized in that process that, interestingly, it's not the best candidate that gets the job at interviews. You'd think it would be, wouldn't you? You'd think, well, surely the best candidate gets the job. Who else are they going to pick? The worst candidate? Well, no, they can't pick the best candidate. That's the idea, because it's the candidate that best articulates their value that gets the job. So it's really the best communicators that tend to win. And actually in life, the best communicators tend to win. And the good news is, for you and me and for all of us, communication is a learnable skill. It's absolutely a learnable skill. You can significantly improve your skills of communication if you work on them, particularly if you follow a proven practice. Now, if you want help with that, I'll tell you right now, you can go to speak.leadwithjohn.com. You can book a call with a program advisor. They'll tell you about the Maxwell Leadership Certified team, and we can help you in that process if that's what you want. It's no obligation. It would take you a few minutes to do that, and maybe it'll be the best phone call you've ever made. Or if it's not for you, no problem. A great investment of time. All right. So secret number one then. Secret number one, Insider Pro speaker tips to instantly feel confident in front of any audience. Let me ask you from the beginning, be honest. How many of you would like to be more confident when you speak? Can I see your hands in the form of yes in the chat, basically? I can't see you. Put yes in the chat. Yeah, thank you for being honest. But almost everyone, I've asked this question around the world. I've asked this question to goodness knows how many people, and almost everyone wants to feel more confident in front of an audience. It's something that many, many people, so many of you saying, yes, that's me. I would like to be more confident. Well, you can, even if you're starting from scratch, even if you've never spoken before, you can. Most people have the wrong idea about speaking. Most people have the wrong idea about themselves. Most people have the wrong idea about the world and everyone else in it as well. We all do, don't we? We need to kind of learn through life's experiences, because most people think, I just can't do that. I don't have the confidence to stand up and speak in front of other people, share a message that they're paying me for. I don't have the confidence to do that. Many of you might be thinking exactly that right now. You might be thinking, I don't have the ability to do that. I remember the first time I was introduced as a professional speaker, I was sitting in the front row, and as I was being introduced, my heart was pounding so powerfully. I thought my jacket and my shirt was moving, and I had to look down and check to make sure that people couldn't see how nervous I was, because it felt like the whole thing was like shaking and vibrating. And no, actually it went okay. It went much better than I thought, but I was terrified before being introduced. So if you feel like, if this is you, I don't have the confidence. I know how you feel. I really do. I struggled with panic attacks as well years ago. Really, really bad. In fact, probably much worse than you. I was listening to this was a few years back. I went to pick up my daughter from school and I was listening to a presentation I'd given the week before, which I often do. It's a great idea to review. You know, in the moment when you've got all the adrenaline, you can't really judge it objectively, but you listen to a recording and then you can do it afterwards much more effectively. So it's a week later, I'm listening to this. My daughter gets in the car and I'm just explaining to the audience actually how I struggled with panic attacks. And my daughter looks at me and she said, "Is that true, Dad? Or are you just saying that for effect with the audience?" I said, "Of course it's true. I'm not gonna make that up, am I? I'm not gonna lie to the audience and pretend I had like panic attack." And she said, "Well, you're a speaker though, you know." And I said, "I know." And she said, "Well, how, what, what happened?" And I said, "Well, I outgrew it. I outgrew the fear because it was important to me, and I put one foot in front of the other, and I outgrew it like anyone outgrows any fear." And I went on a course years ago. I studied this. It was beginning of the panic attacks was my beginning of kind of really understanding the mind and how my mind works and your mind, and kind of introduced me to this whole world of personal growth. And one of the lecturers on this course said, some people are obsessed with finding out why they're like this. What's wrong with me? Where did this come from? And they can't move on until they find out, where did it all start? But you don't actually need to know that, he said, to move on. You can just outgrow it anyway. Just turn around and move forwards. And I'd been worrying about it for long enough, so I thought, I'm going to try that. And it's true, you can outgrow the fear. So if this is you, I know how you feel. If you turn and face the fear, we'll show you how. You can outgrow it. You can outgrow it. See, the truth is you're probably in good company. Many people struggle with a fear of speaking. And the problem with this is it leads to avoidance. You're scared of spiders, what do? You don't go anywhere near them. You avoid them. You're scared of dogs. You avoid them. And if you're scared of speaking, you avoid it. Fear leads to avoidance. Write that down. Write that down. Fear leads to avoidance. We avoid the things we fear. And the problem with this is the only way out is through the fear. The process to outgrow it is by facing it, not running away from it. So we have to find a way to do that. We have to find a way to step forward into growth. And then we realize it's not that we can't do it. We just don't know how. We need to learn how. And you say, yeah, but if you knew how terrified I was, you'd never tell me to do that. Yeah, I would because it's the only way out. Absolutely guaranteed it's the only way out. And how you feel doesn't mean anything. It's just a learned program. How you feel about something is a terrible indicator of whether or not you can learn to do it. Don't trust your feelings. If you feel fear of something, especially speaking where it's not actually dangerous, the fear is lying to you, and you can call it by stepping into it. You want to be more confident? Confidence is preparation. Everything else is beyond your control. What we really want is authentic confidence, and that comes from being properly prepared. Then everything changes. Everything changes. What do you think? Is this useful? This is useful. Put yes in the chat. I want to go back to this point and see whether or not I'm explaining this enough. I'm kind of doing a shortened version, but I want to make sure it's useful for you. Thank you. Thank you. So stepping forward into growth. That's what Desiree Monique did. Meet Desiree. She's no longer afraid. She was afraid. She's not afraid anymore. She was afraid to tell people what she did. She didn't even want to tell people what she did. She didn't want to ask for the business in case they said no. She wasn't robust enough to take that. So she didn't ask. Then she said, I grew. I asked recently for my full speaking fee and they said yes. They could see the value that she could bring. She wasn't afraid to ask because now she knew the value that she could bring. And it didn't matter whether they said yes or no. That didn't affect the fact that she knew the value she could bring. They might say no for all kinds of different reasons. That's not about her. Her self-esteem is not at stake because it's not right for them to move forward at the moment. She knows the value she can bring because she's worked hard to bring value. Now, in this case, they could see the value that she could bring, so they said yes. But either way, it's okay. It's okay. Meet Lynette, a similar kind of story. Both of them are team members. She lost her day job. She was terrified. She didn't know what to do. She jumped on a call. She spoke to Chris Robinson, actually. They hatched a plan. And then 3 months later, she said, my goodness, I got my first check for $60,000 for the contract. Nice work if you can get it. Well, if you do something substantially similar to what Lynette did to get there, you'll get substantially similar results. You won't get the same results, though, if you do nothing, or you just kind of sit there and wait for some magical secret that is going to change everything without any effort. Doesn't exist. All the secrets that work are like doorways. It's not like, oh, fantastic. You've got a role to play in this. It's called growth. In fact, actually, Lynette posted shortly after this that they doubled it to 120,000. See, here's the bottom line. Here's the bottom line. What we want is authentic self-confidence. That's about preparing properly, honoring the audience, following a proven process, and most importantly of all, taking action. And because you don't know how to do it, it's imperfect action. And that's okay. That's the pathway to growth. Your willingness to take imperfect action. You can do this. You really can. I'm talking to you. You can do this. If you want to do this, you can learn to do it, and you can learn to do it very well. But remember, you're not going to be good the first time. It's normal to have doubts when you start something new. That's normal. It's normal to have doubts. The best way to overcome the fear is to step forward into growth and keep going. Let us help you in this process. Let us help you. Go to speak.leadwithjohn.com, fill out this simple form. You'll get on the phone with a program advisor. They'll ask you a few questions. You'll ask them a few questions. Very quickly, you'll see whether or not it's a match. If it is, like I said, it will literally be the best phone call you've ever made in your life, the best decision you've ever made. And it's not, you've just lost a few minutes of your time. There's no obligation. So there's no risk. So in my mind, it's a no-brainer. Now, if you have any questions, don't forget, put them in the chat, or you can email info@leadwithjohn.com. All right, let me just have a quick time check. How are we doing? Okay. All right, let's move to secret number 2, the proven paid speaker business model used by today's hottest, most in-demand speakers and trainers. Again, so many misconceptions. Most people think it's really hard to get started to attract paying clients, let alone build and develop a sustainable speaking business. What do you think about that? Is it really hard to get started attracting paying clients? Don't post anything. Don't put anything in the chat, because I want to tell you, it's not. When you think about it, it's not hard to start anything. Is it hard to start anything? No, even if you go off in the wrong direction, you can course correct and then get back. What's hard is insisting on doing it perfectly first time in one giant leap. That's impossible. That's not realistic. But to start doing something, to start learning and growing, to start moving forwards, anyone can do that. Now, you might be thinking, yeah, I think it's hard for me to do that. I think it's hard for me to get started because I wouldn't even know where to start. I wouldn't even know where to look. Wouldn't even know where to begin. Well, look, you've got many more options. Here's the truth. Virtual is huge since the pandemic. Huge. There's plenty of audiences that are hungry for speakers and trainers. Virtually and live, more and more back now live in person, but still, like, we've learned something about virtual communications. We're never going back. There's loads of virtual opportunities since COVID because we've all realized it's really handy. This is really useful. And so you could create an amazing business without ever leaving home if you wanted to learn how to add value virtually. I'm now in my studio in Florida, about 8 miles down the island. Jupiter Island is our home. Sometimes at home, sometimes I'm here. While I'm traveling, I could be in a hotel room, anywhere. I could be in a car. As long as I've got reception, then I can work with my clients. They're all around the world. It's an amazing, amazing business. I never dreamed that I'd be able to do this. People showed me how to do it, and now I'm doing it. And I think you can see, I'm not like John Maxwell or Les Brown. I'm a normal person like you. And if I can learn to do it, pretty sure you can learn to do it as well. You could start, think about this. This is dizzying. You could start a virtual live event right now if you were ready, if you knew how, if you could add value to your virtual audience. You could develop the skills to do that. Meet Marissa. She worked in the finance is her kind of area. She started doing free workshops that went really well. She actually built a big 7-figure business in her area. She has now companies who want to fill the room for her to do the workshops. She can still sell back of the room, but she just puts the business through them. So it's a win-win-win. And her closing rate is incredible. So a big business that she built because she worked really hard at doing great workshops. She worked really hard and got really, really good. So it really worked. Trouble is, then COVID hit. What does that mean? Well, she kind of semi-pivoted. Turns out it works just as well virtually as it did live. So she can do the same talk. $15,000. She told me she did one for $20,000. See, there's plenty of opportunities if you're ready to capitalize on them. And ready to capitalize on them doesn't mean, yeah, I want to do it. It doesn't mean, yeah, I'm a speaker, give me the mic, I'll talk on anything. It means, can you add value to the audience? You have to learn how to add value to the audience. And if you can do that, people will pay for that. If you can't do that, then they won't. Simple as that. Meet Elizabeth. She started speaking for free. She did a lot of speaking for free, a lot, like a lot. Then she started charging $5,000. Then she started charging $10,000. I interviewed her about 10 years ago. And at the time she said, Roddy, I've just booked my first client for next year for $15,000. Nice business if you can get it. She worked hard to get it. If you did something similar, you could have something similar. Then COVID hit. She switched to virtual. She told us our average fee virtually was $7,000 to $10,000 for the same presentation without leaving home. How cool is that? Best of all, she's now on the team. She'll show you exactly what she did to search the databases of speaking opportunities, how to get to the top of the searches for those, what you need to do to show up first in the list when meeting planners and organizers are looking for people to come and speak. See, the bottom line about getting paid to speak is you don't have to have a string of people waiting to give you $10,000 a speech to start your business. You need to get out there into the marketplace and start learning how to add value. People are looking for speakers for summits, conferences, and online events all the time, but they're looking for people that can add value. We can help you in that process, because when you're good and you can consistently share a message that adds value, then you're in demand. All right, secret number 3, why you don't have to be famous with a huge tribe of followers and fans to become a paid speaker. This is so seductive, isn't it? Because you sort of think, well, yeah, I'd love to be a speaker as long as I've got a ready-made audience. I'd love to be a speaker as long as I've got a book and, you know, it's an Amazon bestseller. I want to be a speaker as long as I've got a tribe of people that are following me. But when you think about it, all those people you're looking at, none of them, 0 of them started out with a tribe of followers. They built the followers, didn't they? They got there. They grew there. It didn't happen overnight. And actually, this is going to, you know, make some of you screw your face up a little bit and go, what? But actually can help if you're not famous. Why? Well, again, people have some of the wrong information about this. Most people think, I'm not a famous expert. I don't have a huge tribe of followers. I don't have any fans to help me build my speaking business. Does that mean I can't do it? No, it doesn't. Again, all those people started out like that and they did it. So it doesn't mean you can't do it. It does mean you need to learn how to do it. And you don't need to puzzle it out yourself. You could have somebody like the Maxwell leadership team help you in that process. There's over 49,000 people, I think, have become coaches with the Maxwell leadership team now. You wouldn't be the first. We've got better and better at it over the last 12 years. See, most people misunderstand what's really important. You're not actually trying to impress the audience when you speak. And again, some of you are going to be like, yeah, I am. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to impress the audience. No, you're not. You're trying to connect with them. Trust me. You'll be like, no, I want them looking up at me and thinking I'm great. You don't. You want to connect with them. You want to connect with them. That's what helps. That's the basis of influence. Impressing doesn't help you like you think it does. You don't want them thinking you're wonderful. You want them thinking they are wonderful. You want them thinking that you're just like them. Because if you're just like them and you can do it or you've done it, then maybe it will work for them too. But if you've got some kind of magical powers that they don't have, then they can see, well, of course it works for you. You've got some kind of strange magical powers that I don't have. It won't work for me though. But if you're just like them, it's much more relatable, much more convincing. And that really is the key. You've got to be relatable. If you're going to influence them into action, they have to be able to relate to you. And at the end of the day, that comes down to, if they're going to buy into your ideas, if they're going to buy something from you, then they have to feel that connection with you. They have to feel that connection. They have to feel like they know you. And so you need to be authentic. You need to be yourself. They need to feel like they like you. And then they can feel like they trust you. And that's the foundation for influence. And all of these things, you're much more relatable if you're not famous. Can you relate to Taylor Swift? She started giving you music lessons. Well, maybe you'd sort of think, oh, I'd love to have music lessons from Taylor Swift. But someone who's just started building their business and they're a little bit further ahead of you, it's going to be much more relevant. She's got a giant team of some of the world's best people helping her. She's not going to be able to help you as much as you think. But someone who's just a little bit further ahead is going to be much more helpful. Look at all of these speakers. This is 2 speaking on fear. Betty speaking on brain injury. Paul on MS. Cindy on cancer. Regina on childhood sexual abuse. Muriel on racism. Why are they speaking on these things? Because this is their life. These are the things they've lived out. These are the things they've lived through and learned from. You have a story. Why not you? You have a story. Your story is your superpower. But, and this is the best bit, watch closely. This is the best bit. You can use John Maxwell's content while you find out which story or what area or what your niche is or your niche, depending on where you live. You can use John's content. This is huge. This is exactly what Chris Robinson did. He didn't want to develop his own material. He didn't want to have his own material. He wanted to use John's. So he joined the team so that he could use John's content and John's name and John's blessing. He went out, took the material, got really, really good at it, and built a big 6-figure business. Closer to a 7-figure business, actually, than a 6-figure business. Now, he's the vice president. Best of all, just like with Elizabeth, he'll show you exactly what he did to get the results that he got. Elizabeth will show you exactly what she did. I'll show you exactly what I did. All of the people on the team will share with you exactly what they did. This can save you an enormous amount of time. So if you want us to help you, go to speak.leadwithjohn.com, fill out that simple form, and speak to a program advisor. It's no obligation. There really is nothing at risk apart from, is this going to be a waste of 5 minutes of my time? It's not a hard sell. We're not going to press you into doing something you don't want to do. Your credit card is not going to be charged immediately that you put your details in there. Then it's just your name and your email address, a phone number. Simple stuff, no obligation. Really is a no-brainer. All right. I really want to encourage you to do this, take this simple step, because I really feel it will help you if you want to develop your speaking or you want to develop a business. Let me tell you real quick what's in the program, just from my perspective, from a speaking perspective. The program is much bigger than this. It's too big for me to begin to explain to you. The program advisors can do that much better than me, depending on what it is that you want to do. But let me just quickly give you an overview of the speaking bits. Would that be okay, real quick? How are we doing for time? Okay, real quick. So this is what you get when you join the program. The master speaker training, how you can really connect with your audience just like John does. How to create amazing presentations that make you a legend with your audience. How to structure the perfect presentation. How to understand how to balance entertainment and education. How to quickly overcome fear and anxiety. Build unshakable self-confidence. And, we're just scratching the surface here. So much more, okay? Plus, you get the business model that works, how to build a speaking and training business, even if you're starting from scratch, how to use the mastermind model, step-by-step guide to the exact process of building a business where people will pay you to speak and train, how to use your own material, how to use John Maxwell's material, and so much more. 7 complete John Maxwell training courses built on 7 of John's wonderful books. 7 fully scripted lunch and learn presentations. It's all done for you. You get the PowerPoints ready to go, as is, or for you to tweak. Some of you, you'll recognize some of these if you've been a John fan. Leadership Gold, terrific program. Put your dream to the test, same. Hugely popular, becoming a person of influence. 15 invaluable laws of growth. Rachel Hollis said this was her gateway drug to personal growth. 15 invaluable laws of growth. How to be a real success. My favorite, Everyone Communicates, Few Connect. And John's, one of his most recent best-selling books, Change Your World. All 7 of these. You only need one. Become an expert in one of these. You got the scripts, the templates, the PowerPoints, the mastermind guides, the teaching videos, everything you need. Plus, you can use the name. Instantly leverage Maxwell leadership to help launch your business. Customizable PowerPoint slides, step-by-step training, how to use that lunch and learn model, instant credibility with the brand, customizable marketing materials, everything. So what are you going to get? You get the master speaker training, the business model that works, those 7 training programs. Now, some of you, I know you're thinking, but what about some of the other bits you need with a business, like legal agreements and paperwork? We didn't have all of these things at the beginning, but as questions came in and we put together a more and more comprehensive offering over the years, we've added things that you need. You need this. So it's in there. Speaker agreement templates, specific agreement templates you can use when people hire you to speak. Invaluable for making sure you don't miss anything. Helping you avoid silly mistakes, making sure that it goes off without a hitch. Yeah, but I've never run a business before, Roddy. I've never run a business before. Don't worry. We've got you covered there too. Jumpstart your business masterclass, 7-step blueprint to quickly start your speaking business using the Maxwell method of speaking. Well, what if I want to really dig into how to be a truly amazing speaker? I'm glad you asked. This is my passion. There's deep dive training, speaking for influence, special training on becoming a great speaker, how to take your speaking to the next level, how to model the world's best speakers, how to develop your own powerfully persuasive presentations, how to sell from the stage, how to sell virtually, how to establish and maintain the foundations of influence that are so essential, how to structure your presentations, and so much more. Okay, you say, sounds great, but what if I get stuck and need help? Is there any ongoing support, or are you just going to dump all this stuff on me and leave me to puzzle it out for myself? Of course not. Of course there's support. Twice a week, live weekly calls, and there has been the whole time. Q&A, teaching calls. Every one of our faculty is a successful speaker, trainer, and leader. We cover a wide variety of topics between us all, new trainings each week, opportunity to ask questions every week. So one last time then before we wrap up, what do you get? You get the Master Speaker Training. You get the Business Model That Works training. You get those 7 complete John Maxwell training courses. You get the speaker agreement templates, Jumpstart Your Speaking Business Masterclass, Speaking for Influence training, and the bonus live weekly faculty calls. What would it be worth if this just helped you launch your business that you've been waiting to do for some time? Or if it just helped you become a great speaker? Would it be worth 10 minutes on a phone call? Of course it would. Of course it would. I wish something like this was available when I started out. It would have been so much easier. I had to invest $13,000, which is like, this program is a fraction of that. And the amount of value is 100 times or more. It's so comprehensive. It really is. It has to be one of the safest investments in the industry. So go to speak.leadwithjohn.com and just jump on a call with a program advisor and find out. Just if you make the call, then you get the bonus, the Savvy Marketer's Guide to Turbocharging Business Profit, how content wins over salesmanship every time. Content is king. John says that over and over. How to build your list, how to save time by repurposing. That's huge. How to not be a jack of all trades, but focus in on one area, real focus. That's going to exponentially increase your success. How to leverage other people's time. And again, so much more. If you want to be a speaker, you wouldn't be the first person. There's loads of people that we've trained that have gone through the proven process to be on stage. They've learned how to add value to an audience, but they've been on stage in front of audiences of thousands of people, live, in person, virtually, because they did the work. They jumped into the team, followed the process, got better and better and better, developed the skills, knowledge, and experience necessary to really add value to the audience, to the point where people will pay for what they have to share, for the message that they have to share. And you can too. If you wanted to do, you could too. There's nothing that these people have done that you couldn't do. You could do it too if you want to. And we want to help you. We want to help you in that process. So if you keep the call with the program advisor, turn up, then they'll give you that free gift. I know you don't know me. Well, most of you probably don't know me. You don't know perhaps John or the team. And so it feels like a bit of a risk, but please trust me. This is a no risk, no obligation. It's no hard sell. If you want to develop your speaking, it's not easy to do on your own. It's much easier to have someone show you the way. This is a great option. It really is. It's a great next step. Trust me, you got nothing to lose. Of course, it always feels like there's risks. John F. Kennedy said there's risks and costs to any plan of action, but they're far less than the long range risks and costs of comfortable inaction. Don't do nothing. Don't do nothing. Life's too short. You've got to follow your dream. Do it safely. Do it with good training. Do it with good advice. That could start with jumping on a call with a program advisor. Go to speak.leadwithjohn.com. I believe it's your next best step. And then you're going to thank me and it was going to be, woohoo, I've been looking for this my whole life. This is perfect. But if I'm wrong, if it's not for you, what has it cost you? Just a few minutes of your time. It's worth finding out. So go to speak.leadwithjohn.com, book a call, find out, speak to a program advisor, and see for yourself. That's it. We're a teeny bit over time, couple of minutes over time, but thank you for being here. Thanks for listening. I hope this has been helpful to you. If it's right for you, find out from a program advisor. It's right for you to join the team. We'd love to have you, and I look forward to working with you and look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks, guys. Lots of love. Take care. Bye-bye. God bless.
Hey, my friend. Hey, leader. One of the most significant decisions of my life was deciding to invest in my leadership. Believe it or not, there was a time that I wasn't the leader I could have been. In fact, you could say that I was broke, personally, professionally, relationally, financially. I had no idea then what difference becoming a better leader would make for me in every single area of my life. My personal life, my professional life, my financial life, my relationships. And not just the difference it made in me, but to those around me. Now I sit here today as the CEO of Maxwell Leadership. My proximity to John C. Maxwell has afforded me many benefits, not the least of which is the understanding that truly everything rises and falls on leadership. The first person you have to learn to lead is yourself. Right now, there are over 50,000 individuals worldwide who are able to lead, to coach, to train and speak, and use the name of John Maxwell to promote their business. These are people who are making a difference in the lives of others while improving their own life, their own career, and their bank account. If you want to know more about how to do this, click the link in the description. On the other side of that decision could be your breakthrough, as well as your breakthrough for countless others you'll have the opportunity to influence.